Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Kwan Lacey broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Buy or sell. Tua has made his last start for the Dolphins. Feels like Sam went easy on this one.
If I could be that crazy guy, was it Jim Cramer? Buy. Yeah, there's no way he's playing for the Dolphins again. After he said that statement, there was no way in hell anyway. But once again, new coach, new GM. I don't know how they're going to do the cap hit. It's massive.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I'll tell you what, guys. The insider scam is like the best insider scam in the business of, like, in the history of television. They don't know anything until their phone gets the text message in which the deal is done, right? We saw this with Quinn Hughes. We were told, he wants to play with his brothers. Now they're saying that he wanted to be traded to Detroit. In other words, just say you don't know.
In-game live, only on Sport.
And welcome in. It is in-game live game day on a terrific Thursday evening. Scott Wetzel, Gabriel Morency for the next 2 glorious hours until 10 p.m. Eastern time, watching, analyzing, and, of course, betting on the world of sports. What's better? Number one over team in all of college basketball. All 300-plus teams are in action tonight. And so is the number one under team. How about that, the little daily double? We got a revenge system, if you will, in the NHL. We got the Battle of Los Angeles in the NBA. We'll talk some college basketball and NBA with Nick Hamady, ZoneCoverage.com writer. And then we'll do some NFL preview with our good buddy Brady Cannon, SportsGrid host you see it here all the time here on the grid. So a lot to get to. Before we get to it all, it is game time. What's betting you off tonight, Gabe?
A big story of the night, the Baltimore Ravens make their decision. Jesse Minter is the new head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. And I am very surprised by this in the sense that I'm not shocked that Minter got a job. He was one of the hottest candidates in football. But I am shocked that it's the Baltimore Ravens. And, I guess, if you're going to lose your job, I guess it's better that you know the person that takes it over, sort of, maybe. But it's the strangest situation ever with Baltimore. So they run Harbaugh out to bring in a guy who is a mini Harbaugh. Jesse Minter is like 33 years old and is coached under Jim and John Harbaugh. So, it's like breaking up with your wife and marrying the younger sister, I guess, or like something like that. It's kind of a strange, like, I don't really know how Minter can come into the room now and really have any more juice than Harbaugh already did. They'll be like, aren't you the kid that was the DB coach 3 years ago? So it seems to me to be a strange hire to go from Harbaugh to Minter. And this isn't against Minter, but if you didn't want Harbaugh, then why would you want Minter? Right? Minter's only been around Harbaugh's in his life before. So why would you want Minter? So, interesting hire, to say the least, in my opinion, for the Baltimore Ravens. And, by the way, I called this when Harbaugh got let go. I'm not sure Lamar Jackson is going to want to stick around. And there's already little bit of a buzz that Lamar might want out of Baltimore.
There's buzz about that. There's buzz about Josh Allen wanting out of Buffalo. Tua Tags wants out of Miami. Is there a quarterback that's happy somewhere along
There's
the
no
line?
buzz
Little
about
reminder.
Josh wanting out of Buffalo.
Yeah, he was upset about how they handled it. I did see that headline. Just
There's
a
a lot of
reminder to
fake
these.
stuff. Josh Allen hasn't spoken. He hasn't spoken, bro.
They have
since.
contracts. Just a reminder to these quarterbacks, they have contracts. So they may want out, or they may not be happy, or whatever the case may be with
Josh Allen feels bad because he knows if he doesn't miss a wide open Dawson Knox, Sean McDermott still has his job right now. Right?
Yeah,
so Josh Allen feels bad,
bus.
but Josh Allen doesn't want out of Buffalo or isn't like whatever. And in fact, the report actually everybody in the Buffalo media all said that Josh has complete faith in Pagula and in Bean and the Buffalo Bills and all that type of stuff. It's an emotional moment now. Tua, it's a different story. I don't think Miami wants Tua back. It doesn't really matter what Tua wants.
Yeah. You could throw, Kyler Murray in Arizona. There's a bunch of disgruntled quarterbacks. But, all right, opening pickoff time. We're going to dig deep. Not that many games starting at 8 o'clock as opposed to our 9 o'clock late-night pickoff. So let's go deep into the well of the OVC, Ohio Valley Conference. So let's grab Eastern Illinois laying 2.5 against Southern Indiana. It's actually not a bad play. If you haven't seen any of these teams play, no, me neither. But if you just look at the numbers, and this is just a numbers play game, give me Eastern laying 2.5. They're 4-4 in the Ohio Valley OVC, and Southern is 1-7. So that alone tells you that Eastern's the better team. Eastern is 6-2 against the spread their last 8 games, 4-1 straight up their last 5, and 4-1 against the spread their last 5 against Southern Indiana, which is 1-9 their last 10 games overall, and 0-5 against the spread at home their last 5 home games. So technically, without seeing these teams play once, give me Eastern Illinois minus the 2.5 on the road.
I'm going to start off with the NBA, the Chicago Bulls and the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm surprised that the Bulls don't have a stronger over record when you consider the track meets that they play in on a nightly basis, but we went over it. Even though the NBA is as high scoring as it is, totals are like 50-50, right? It's literally almost like, smack dab in the middle as far as the season over-unders are concerned. But with that being stated, these two teams just played a couple of weeks ago, and they got to 237. It's 237.5 tonight, although the bettors have bet it up to 239.5 right now. Plus, if you look at Minnesota don't stop anybody either. Minnesota's last game, 127, 122, 126, 123, 139, 106. You got a pattern here with the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Chicago Bulls. This is going to be a lights-out track meet tonight. Let's go over 237.5 points, Bulls and T-Wolves.
All right, I'll get to that game in a second because I have that one as well. I'll go back to the OVC. Give me Lindenwood, one of your favorite teams, laying 8.5 at home against Tennessee Tech. It's a decent-sized number to lay with an 11-8 team, but they're 9-4 their last 13. They're really good at home, 9-1 straight up at home, and Tennessee Tech is on a 1-6 straight up and against the spread run, and they're lousy on the road, only 3-9. Give me Lindenwood in the OVC, laying 8.5.
We took Anthony Edwards the other night to go over 3.5 3-point shots. He ended up finishing with 5. It is what it is, man. All he does, he shoots 1 million threes now. He's literally taking like 9.8 threes per game so far in the month of January here. Like it's just shoot for Edwards. So it's 3.5 once again. It's actually come down to minus 125. And, oh, yeah, by the way, the Chicago Bulls don't defend anything, right? They're ranked 23rd in the NBA as opposed to stopping the three-point shot. There'll be a lot of three-point shot opportunities tonight for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards over 3.5 three-point shots made.
All right, I like that, and I got the same thing there, Gabe, as far as the over is concerned. Give me the over 237.5, Chicago, Minnesota. Here's some more numbers. Gabe gave me a bunch already. Chicago, 9-1 over in their 10 games against the Western Conference heading into this week. 9-2 over their last 11 meetings against Minnesota. Minnesota takes 2 to tango, you say. 5-2 over their last 7 games. Chicago's coming off a game in which they tied a franchise record with 25 successful three-pointers, and you got the Anthony Edwards. He's back. He's played 2 games since missing a couple with an injury. He scored 55 and 38 points his last 2 games. It's a big number, 237.5, but give me the over as well, Bulls in Minnesota.
We'll play the under in the Panthers and the Winnipeg Jet game tonight. Interesting dynamic. We talk about how it gets late early in the NHL, and they don't hide it. Matthew Tkachuk's quote today before the game. Unfortunately, we're doing a lot of scoreboard watching already, right? Think about that. He's admitting it, that we're still in January, and he's admitting, yeah, we're paying attention to what other teams are doing right now. The Winnipeg Jets went on record 2 days ago yesterday. Every game is a must-win from here on out for us. This will have a playoff feel. You'll notice, too, the Jets have been successful as of late because they've been playing well defensively. For the record, the Blackhawks just scored on the Canes. But give me under 6.5. The total is 6, so I bought it up to, I bought the half puck. It's minus 150, but I really don't think they're going to be getting to 7 goals in this game. So give me the under 6.5 for the Jets and Panthers.
All right, I'm going to grab Nashville, pick them against Ottawa. Both teams struggling. Both, if the playoffs were to start today, are on the outside looking in, but neither one is that far out of the playoff picture, even though Ottawa is in last place, but still. They're 3-6 their last 9 games under the Senators. Their goaltending situation is a mess. They picked up 37-year-old James Reimer, if you remember him. That's how bad it is for the Ottawa Senators. Nashville's 8-3 their last 11 at home. Give me the Preds at home, pick them.
I have a same-game parlay for this. I'll give it on the other side as we're up against it, but it's basically Dylan Cousins over 1.5 shots on goal, Stützle over 1.5 shots on goal, and Stamkos over 0.5 shots on goal, so plus 145. Stamkos has a shot on goal in 24 straight games.
Wow, nice. All right, more coming up in Game Live here on the Grid.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Kawhi Lacey broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Buy or sell. Tua has made his last start for the Dolphins. Feels like Sam went easy on this one.
If I could be that crazy guy, was it Jim Cramer? Buy. Yeah, there's no way he's playing for the Dolphins again. After he said that statement, there was no way in hell anyway. But once again, new coach, new GM. I don't know how they're going to do the cap hit. It's massive.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I'll tell you what, guys. The insider scam is like the best insider scam in the business of, like, in the history of television. They don't know anything until their phone gets the text message in which the deal is done, right? We saw this with Quinn Hughes. We were told, he wants to play with his brothers. Now they're saying that he wanted to be traded to Detroit. In other words, just say you don't know.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, game day on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 1. So we got our initial picks in. Let's recap them for you. I got Eastern Illinois laying 2.5 against Southern Indiana. They tip off in about a half hour, bottom of the hour, 8:30 Eastern time. I got Lindenwood at home laying 8.5 against Tennessee Tech. I got over in the 237.5 Bulls Minnesota game, and then Nashville pick them against the Ottawa Senators on the ice tonight. So Gabe, what are yours again?
We're going to go with the over. Chicago Bulls, Minnesota Timberwolves. Over 237.5. Anthony Edwards, over 3.5 points, 3.5 threes made. For the record, too, Westbrook last night, we told you he would go off. He barely got there as far as the 28.5, but he got to 29. So we nailed those Westbrook and Grady Dick props last night. We ended strong. It was like 6-1 on the West Coast on the way out with the late night games last night. But yeah, so Anthony Edwards over 3.5 threes. So he's got to make 4 3-point shots tonight. Made 5 in his last game. The over in the game, under 6.5 in the Panthers and Jets. I think it's going to play like a playoff game. Interesting storyline, too. Paul Maurice, of course, Panther coach, used to be the Winnipeg Jet head coach. And we talked about the same game parlay. I was looking at shots on goal prop tonight for this game, and Nashville give up a lot of shots on goal. Ottawa have been pretty hot. It started off with Stützle, basically. I'm like, Stützle's kind of hot right now. He's got 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points in the last 3-4 games. So I was looking at Stützle tonight, and I looked at his shots on goal prop, but I'm like, it's 1.5, and it's kind of pricey actually at 1.5. I'm like, wow. So I sort of dug in, and I realized, all right. And I started looking around at other players and realizing the Ottawa Senators are just a shot machine. So Dylan Cousins, guys. So this is the same game parlay. Dylan Cousins over 1.5 shots on goal. Steven Stamkos to just have 1 shot on goal, over 0.5 shots on goal. And Tim Stützle over 1.5 shots on goal. Same game parlay pays plus 145. I'm not a fan. I wish it paid more because I need 3 things to happen for plus 145 only. But to put in context, Dylan Cousins has had 2 or more shots on goal in 11 of the Senators' last 12 games. Tim Stützle has had 2 or shots more on goal in 5 straight and 12 of their last 15 games. And Stamkos has at least 1 shot on goal in an incredible 24 games in a row, Scott. Wow. That's unbelievable. Like 24 games in a row, Stamkos has a shot on goal. You know one thing about Stamkos? He's got a photogenic memory. And
really?
He can remember. He remembers every goal that he's ever scored. It's pretty wild. I've seen him do it. Yeah, because it takes a while, so he's not going to do it like for show all the time. But he actually did it once. Like he sat in front of someone and he rattled off like 300 goals in a row.
And like what he did, he gave, like not necessarily the time, but who he scored against. What team?
Yeah,
he
said, yeah, top shelf, Marc-Andre Fleury, Vegas. Yeah, slap shot, lucky, bounced off a defenseman, Carolina. Like, yeah, goal number 33 of that year. Yeah, that was against Chicago. I hit the crossbar and went in. Like, he remembers how it happened, every goal of his career. It's pretty wild.
That's pretty freaky. That's pretty.
Yeah,
that's
he can really the goalie. Like, boom. Because someone tested him. Because they were like, there's an urban legend that you can name, like, every goal. He goes, no, I can't. He goes, it takes a long time, but, I can do it. And he did it. It was like, boom, boom. And they were like, all right, we get the picture. Like, it was like.
You ever see that guy, Oz? You ever see that guy, Oz?
Yeah.
What's his Perlman, is it? Something like that. Oz something, right?
Oz the mentalist. Yeah. Not Dr. Oz.
Yeah.
Not the Dr. Oz.
Not Dr. Oz. Yeah. Oz the mentalist. Some of that stuff, Gabe, is like really like, I mean, how do they do that? It can't be all rigged. So how does he?
No, it's not rigged.
Like, right? So how does he do it?
I saw Oz guess Pat McAfee's bank PIN number.
Wow. How does that happen?
Think about that.
Guys can't read other people's minds.
Like the Oz
so
looked
maybe
at Pat McAfee. He looked at Pat McAfee and he said, I'll be able to guess I could figure out your bank code within minutes. McAfee was like, as if. Like, there's millions of combinations. No, you won't. And he goes, yeah, I will. And right away, he goes, I think you're an impatient man, so you're going to have a first low number. And you can sort of see Pat's face, like, kind of like turning white. And Pat got scared and said, don't say it out loud. Eh? Like, he was all freaked out. Like, he was like, how do you know? Like, all this. Yeah, anyone that's seen Oz, he's like he's a magician, mentalist, mind reader.
Mentalist, yeah. Mentalist.
Yeah,
it must
but
be
like,
mind reading. But what he does is, like, I saw one.
It's
he was with the
investigation.
Dolphins. Yeah, like he asked, like the one with the Dolphins and the Rams. I saw. He goes to these camps, before camp, right? Little rah rah type of situation. So the whole team's in a studio basically. And long story short, with the Dolphins, he asked Tua to throw the ball to different people. You throw to anybody you want. And there's 50, 60, 70 players, whatever. Anybody you want in a row, right? And this guy, before he throws it, Oz will write down numbers. And then somehow or another, he has the numbers of the players that Tua, or in the Rams one, the latest one I saw, Matthew Stafford, threw it to. And then he had one game with the Rams where he said, now this was before the season began, Rams, you're going to win the Super Bowl. You're going to beat the Denver Broncos, which is still a lie, but okay. And he had you throw at Stafford to two people, and he gave out the two people that had the same score that he wrote the Rams were going to win by 24-13. It's like, how do you do, how?
It's wild stuff.
Yeah, right? This guy, I like
it's
that
almost,
stuff.
it's like profiling. I saw an interview with him, and he wasn't going to give away everything, but he basically said, I can't read minds, but I can profile you pretty quickly. So like I said, he can deduct that, this guy is impatient.
You're going to throw it to a running back, or you're going to throw it to a
or he can read his mind. Like Tua, he's going to go here, he's going to go there, he's going to look here. That'll be like, but like the pin numbers and stuff, right? Like, hey, that's amazing. Anyone that hasn't seen Oz, because a lot of people don't believe it, right? They're like, no. And then like a lot of football coaches love him. The football, because it lightens the mood and stuff. He comes into the room and no one believes it. And then everyone gets all scared. Like,
it's a bond.
He'll know you're
the players. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, he can guess your bank account numbers and stuff. Like, he's really good.
Really freaky. It really is.
We'll get you the list of things he's done. It's crazy. Like,
Yeah. I wrote coming every game live.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Kwan Lacey broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Buy or sell. Tua has made his last start for the Dolphins. Feels like Sam went easy on this one.
If I could be that crazy guy, was it Jim Cramer? Buy. Yeah, there's no way he's playing for the Dolphins again. After he said that statement, there was no way in hell anyway. But once again, new coach, new GM. I don't know how they're going to do the cap hit. It's massive.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I'll tell you what, guys. The insider scam is like the best insider scam in the business of, like, in the history of television. They don't know anything until their phone gets the text message in which the deal is done, right? We saw this with Quinn Hughes. We were told, he wants to play with his brothers. Now they're saying that he wanted to be traded to Detroit. In other words, just say you don't know.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe just having some fun talking about Oz the Mentalist. You found one pertaining to the Pope, Gabe, in the break?
Yeah. So just for Oz the Mentalist, too, Scott sort of brought it up, but to fully explain what he was talking about. This is pretty wild, actually. Like, speaking of like Oz the Mentalist, just punch him in and just punch in Oz the Mentalist NFL or Oz Mentalist Shocks NFL team, and it all pops up. There's, like Scott talked about the Dolphins. There's one with Josh Allen, same thing. The Bills are all in a room in the room together, and he gave Josh a ball, and he said, "Throw the ball to someone." And but it's funny. Josh threw it to Dawson Knox, and of course Oz knew. He showed the sign after. Yeah, I knew you'd throw to Dawson Knox. He showed the sign. Like, that's probably like Oz just being so like, yeah. He throws to Knox, is his buddy, you know what I mean? He's connected, like, he'll go to him first, like, sort of speak. Like, he's really got it down, but he visited the Rams before the season started. Like I said, football coaches love this guy. So he visited the Rams before the season started, and he predicted, and he told them, you guys are going to win the Super Bowl this year, 23-14 over the Denver Broncos. Wow.
Yeah.
Broncos still alive. Rams still alive right now.
Alive. Yeah.
And yeah, we better bet that correct score. Like,
yeah, right.
So just for the record, you don't want to leave that on the table. And how about this? Every time there's a new pope elected, the Seattle Seahawks make the Super Bowl. 2005, new pope elected. Seattle loses the Super Bowl to the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2013, new pope elected. Seattle wins the Super Bowl versus the Denver Broncos. 2025, new pope elected. Seattle, one game away from the Super Bowl.
Pretty interesting.
Next time there's a pope, next time there's a new pope, just blindly bet the Seahawks to win the NFC. Just blindly bet them. But so something's got to give. So we have Oz the Mentalist saying the Rams, and we got the Pope saying the Seahawks.
That's right. Yeah. Which system do you want to buck? You want to go against the Pope? You can't go against the Pope. You got to bet Seattle this weekend. As simple as that.
How about this, though? This is a more serious one. You like numbers like this.
Yeah.
This is the 21st time that division foes have met in the conference championship game.
Okay.
The home team is 15-5 all time.
Wow.
Interesting. It's pretty significant.
Is that just because they're the better team? Because obviously they're the home team, so they would be the higher seed, or is there something to that? I'd be curious to know. Well, that would be it. It'd probably be 2-1, right?
You saw the other one too.
Could be 3-0. Could be 3-0.
Yeah, exactly. The other one too is the last 10 times that home dogs of 4 points or more in the NFL playoffs are on a 10-0 run right now.
Yeah.
ATS.
Dogs in general in the postseason are really good. So it is tempting, I must say. I haven't looked at the lines yet for the NFL. Have they changed? No, they don't. 4.5 and 2.5, yeah. The money line
some people keep talking about 5.5 and 6 and stuff like that, but I don't see them. I keep seeing 4.5. Like, I wish I was getting more. Yeah. Does it go up?
It was 5.5 earlier in the week.
Briefly at some spots.
Yeah.
That 365 has never moved off the 4.5.
Really?
I saw FanDuel did, and I see FanDuel's back to the 4.5 right now. Seems like they're not confident. I think it seems like once they start posting 5.5, that Denver money starts to come in on them, and they don't want that too much.
Yeah.
They also don't want to get middle.
42. Well, that too. And they're definitely not going to go down to 4 because that's a magic number. So we're talking about pro bettors. Like a pro bettor, let's say he got New England at -4 earlier in the week, and right away, and then he sees, I can get Denver at 5.5, 6. They'll try to just hedge it and scalp it at that point, right? They'll say, all right, we'll just put another $50K down on this as +6 and move on. And either way, you're working out with the juice, etc. Those VIGs do add up when you're betting that kind of money. It's not like you
that's why
$100. You put a few $1,000 on that, that adds up. So you could be sitting there with 50 on one side, 50 on the other. Okay, I broke even, but no, you didn't.
Yeah, that's why I'm not a fan of it. That's why a lot of people say, I'll just scalp it. It's like, wow, what if, no. I don't like giving up a win I already have. That's against my morals.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like taking the other side of things and hedging. It's no, I don't want to do something that I know one of them is going to lose automatically. Not a fan of
That's
this.
why. That's why 9
you
times
know?
out of 10, I hedge money line. I like getting positive money, forget the big money line on both sides.
The Broncos plus 1,200, 1,300 isn't a bad play, though, to hedge moving forward, as you brought up and we talked about.
Yeah.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Kawhi Lacey broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Buy or sell. Tua has made his last start for the Dolphins. Feels like Sam went easy on this one.
If I could be that crazy guy, was it Jim Cramer? Buy. Yeah, there's no way he's playing for the Dolphins again. After he said that statement, there was no way in hell anyway. But once again, new coach, new GM. I don't know how they're going to do the cap hit. It's massive.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I'll tell you what, guys. The insider scam is like the best insider scam in the business of, like, in the history of television. They don't know anything until their phone gets the text message in which the deal is done, right? We saw this with Quinn Hughes. We were told, he wants to play with his brothers. He wants to play with his brothers. Now they're saying that he wanted to be traded to Detroit. In other words, just say you don't know.
In-game live. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe. All right, time to make some money. Enough fooling around with mentalists. Although, if he can help us pick some plays, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. So let's go to our good buddy Nick Hamity.
We haven't had one guest. Yeah, we have one guest
right.
tell us it was the Rams and the Broncos 24-13. So Oz the mentalist wins.
Zonecoverage.com. What's going on, Nick? How are you tonight? We were talking, Gabe and I were talking, Oz the Mentalist. I saw a couple of clips of him this week, and I just kind of yapping about that. You ever see him?
No, I actually have not. That's something I do not know much about. I will.
You'll get a kick out of it. You'll get a kick out of it. So let's start. You know what? I'm going to start college basketball because you have. I don't know if you know this or not, but your play on Hawaii, Cal State, Bakersfield. The Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, whatever they're calling themselves these days, the #1 under team in all of college basketball. And I think you're going to be on that side, are you not?
Yeah, you stole the words right out of my mouth. Hawaii is 12-3 to the under this season so far. That is the best in the country. This total has dropped a little bit from I think 147 to 146.5, now down to about 145. But I still like it. As I just mentioned, they are the best under team in the entire country. They have a 6.7 average margin to the total towards the under. That's 10th lowest in the country. This team simply does not go over. And they're going up against the Cal Bakersfield team that I just don't trust to score enough points to get over a total of 146.5. Bakersfield cannot shoot. They are 349th in the country in effective field goal percentage, 342nd in two-point percentage. And they're going against a team that is 6th in the entire NCAA in effective field goal defense. I just don't see 146.5 or even 145 happening. I see this game being played in the 130s if I had to guess. An under on this game is a play for me tonight.
Only fear is if Hawaii blowed them out by too much, right?
Right.
You look at this number, that's the only fear, right? If they get, but they probably, even if they do, I'm thinking like 79-62 type of game in that range.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? 78, 64, whatever. Like they're favored by like 18, whatever. What is it? 16 and a half now? In
16 and a
half,
half, yeah.
Yeah. So I can sort of see it, in that range, like staying under, but barely. Right. I liked it better at 147 and a half. I better get in before it gets too late because everybody's jumping in on this.
Yeah, this is simply, even in a blowout spot, this is just me fading the fact that I don't think that Bakersfield is going to put up enough points to get over this total. The spread was just gigantic, so that's why I took a peek at the under instead.
Yeah. You look at Hawaii's scores, they really don't. You throw out some Division II games that they've had.
Yep.
They're scoring in like the 70s, maybe a couple of 80s a couple of times there. I was going to ask you, and I will, Nick, 144 and a half it is now, 146 and a half, whatever. No, like I figured this game would be in the 130s. You're surprised the number is as high as it is for a team that's 12-3 under.
Yeah, I thought Vegas would catch on a little bit more, especially as you just mentioned, best in the country. Usually when you have the B word in there, there's a little bit of a reversion with the odds. But this total, it seems very high to me. I'm going to have to see a lot from Hawaii's offense to believe that this game is going to be played anywhere near the 150s.
It's funny you say that, guys, because you're right. So Hawaii are the number one under team in the country, and people don't really notice and bet it, but people are starting to tune in, and I've been aware of this and asked Scott. I've been pounding the pavement that the Denver Pioneer games go over all the time for weeks now, right? So, and it's up to 16-1, and now that is juiced. It's all the way up to 159.5 tonight. So it is funny. People like offense, Nick and Scott. You know what I mean, Nick? Like, people notice, oh, yeah, they're the great over. Like, if you ask people who are the top over teams, they know who they are. You ask them who the top under teams are, they don't know. It's like, well, you would blindly bet an over if you knew that the team was 13-3 to the over, but you don't want to do it if it's the under, right? Like,
it's funny. Like with all these narratives right now.
Yeah.
Like even in the NBA, it's like all these points are being scored, and everybody wants to take an over on everything, but you got to factor in the fact that Vegas has adjusted to that, and these totals are 20 points higher than they were 5-10 years ago. And for that reason, a lot of unders are hitting even with a lack of defense being played in the NBA. And even as we've seen recently in college basketball, these totals are much higher than we've seen in previous years.
I just brought that up earlier. All these high-scoring games in the NBA, you figure, it'd be easy to make money betting the over. I have the numbers here, and in fact, so the unders are actually winning a little bit right now. It's 51.7%. 51.7% to 48.3.
Do they know what they're doing?
That's how close it is, Scott.
That's amazing, right? You couldn't make that.
I think I watched the game
through 317 games coming into tonight.
I think that
317 games, 51 to 51.7 to 48.3.
I think the Hornets game went under last night by like 60 points. No exaggeration. So I'm not surprised. I know the narrative, but it has not been hitting on the overs lately.
Here's one for you. Utah and San Antonio, right? 239.5. How are you going to attack that one, Nick?
You can't take an under when we've seen these two teams play before and the lack of defense that Utah puts up. And we just saw, unfortunately, that Utah can score on offense as well when they're playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's not the greatest thing in the world for me. But I've seen enough from Utah to believe that this game could go over. But I'm actually going to zero in on something else, being that what we just talked about with these high totals in the NBA and games going under. I'm going to stay away from a game total. And I'm going to look at Yusuf Nurkic to go over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Reason being, he's 12-3 to this number in the past 15 games. He's averaging 30.7 points, rebounds, and assists during that stretch. And he's going to have to do a lot more with Lauri Markkanen not in the game. Markkanen's still sick. He's not expected to play tonight. I just really do think that, against a Wemby team that, Wemby only plays about half the game on rim protection, and Luke Kornet's also out tonight. Nurkic is going to have to do some stuff. We might even see him utilize that 36% three-point percentage that he's worked on so far this season. Nurkic to go over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah, what's up with Markkanen? They're saying an illness. I thought the NBA was generally a little more transparent than just an illness. The guy's been out a week or so.
Starting to feel like Porzingis in the playoffs last year. Yeah, he's been out for about this is his fourth game missed because of illness now. It's starting to become concerning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is this the Jazz say? I mean, we've seen teams do this, right? The Jazz just say, "Well, we really don't want to win." You know,
Well, he could
one
be
of those
getting
deals.
traded. Could be getting traded
or
too.
traded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
maybe.
It's that time of the year right now.
I'd like to see him on a good team. I mean, he's a good player. I don't know how much defense he plays, but man, he can
He
score with the
doesn't,
best
Scott.
of them. No,
He
not at all.
doesn't play defense. That's why he
Yeah.
kind of is who
That's
he
why
is.
he's still with the
Yeah,
Utah
that's why he's
Jazz.
on.
Yeah,
He was on the Bulls before. Like it's not his first team. Like
that's true.
You know,
Yeah, that's right. It's
he's
true.
a stack. He'll give you points though. I mean, he can help
Yeah.
some team.
Good guy
You're
coming
right, I
off the
mean-
bench, then, right? But you're going to have to pay a premium for him, Nick, right? And it's just maybe not worth it.
Yeah, that's the thing. This Utah team, they're kind of between this stage of like, do they try to turn into this young OKC team, much like Brooklyn, where you build around these draft picks and these young guys, or do you ship off these mid-20s guys and try to plan for 3-4 years out and get back what you can? Markkanen's going to require a big haul. That's why a lot of teams probably won't make a play on him, because Utah simply will not sell low on a guy like Larry Markkanen.
That's the word that they're asking for too much. But, something to keep your eye on is Golden State now that they don't have Jimmy Butler. They're going to have to try to make some sort of move here to salvage the season.
Yeah.
They need another player.
Yeah, they might have to play Jonathan Kuminga.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a weird whole.
He finally did the other. You know what? I read the fans gave him a standing ovation. So, or at least a solid ovation. I saw. Maybe I shouldn't say standing. I didn't see that, but they gave us. So
I watched the
fans were on his
Warriors.
side.
I saw their last game against the Raptors. He hit a 3 late, and the way he did it, it was just like the biggest FU. Like he hit it, and he was like, "Yeah, whatever." He kind of stood there. Kerr came over and said something to him. He was like, "Dude, like, don't talk to me." Like it was basically like he's almost like it's the classic. I'm just here because I'm not going to get fined. Okay.
Yeah.
Like he's showing up. Like man, like trade him. And I don't know what Dunleavy's complaining. Dog, he didn't demand. He didn't say what. Like, dude, it's up to you to do your job and trade this guy.
Yeah. Did a great job, man. Appreciate it. ZoneCoverage.com. Check out all his work. Thank you.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Kawhi Lacey broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Buy or sell. Tua has made his last start for the Dolphins. Feels like Sam went easy on this one.
If I could be that crazy guy, was it Jim Cramer? Buy. Yeah, there's no way he's playing for the Dolphins again. After he said that statement, there was no way in hell anyway. But once again, new coach, new GM. I don't know how they're going to do the cap hit. It's massive.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I'll tell you what, guys. The insider scam is like the best insider scam in the business of like in the history of television. They don't know anything until their phone gets the text message in which the deal is done. Right? We saw this with Quinn Hughes. We were told, he wants to play with his brothers. He wants to play with his brothers. Now they're saying that he wanted to be traded to Detroit. In other words, just say you don't know.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the Grid. Little special treat. We got Nick for another segment. Talk a little NFL. Nick Camedy, college basketball, NBA writer, NFL writer, zonecoverage.com. So let's switch over to the NFL. Gabe and I were talking about that as well anyway. So, Nick, we got the same lines that we've seen pretty much all week. Although it's opened up at 3.5. It's down to 2.5 with Seattle. And then we have the New England line still at 4.5 for the most part. It's been 4.5, maybe a little bump up to 5.5 for a day or two, but 4.5 on FanDuel anyway. So how are we attacking the AFC and NFC championship games this weekend?
Yeah, this is really tough for me. This is probably the hardest championship weekend in terms of picking games because it's already felt, like a lot of the games that I thought were going to happen earlier in the playoffs were pretty public. And I'd assume that these are going to continue to steam up in the direction. So I'm actually going to take a look at a two-team money line parlay as opposed to getting involved with the spreads just because the numbers are pretty large. I mean, the Patriots on the road here as the 2 seed against the 1 seed, a little bit too big of a spread for me to feel comfortable, but I do expect the Patriots to get it done. And the reason being, obviously we saw what happened to Bo Nix, and we know the Broncos are an incredible defense, and this game's being played at Mile High. But Drake May as a favorite of 3 or higher is 12-0 straight up this season. That's pretty incredible. And the Patriots went 8-0 on the road. A team that you expect to do well at Foxborough, but on the road to go 8-0, very surprising. And they're getting to go against a quarterback that's making his first playoff start. Stidham. Quarterbacks to make their first playoff starts are 1-7 all time in the playoffs. I don't have a lot of confidence in the guy that hasn't played all regular season. In the last 2 seasons, I will say, with Alex Kemp as the main official, favorites are 30-3 straight up. Not a lot of upsets happening, so I expect the Patriots to get it done on the road against the Denver Broncos team that I have a lot of respect for the defense and what they've done this season. But I don't think that they have enough on the offensive side to get it done against the Patriots team.
One thing about the referee that you brought up, Alex Kemp, the Denver Broncos are 4-0 in home games officiated by Alex Kemp. Most recently, week 1 this year. So he's only done 1 game this year. But I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah, I'm on top of NFL ref stats. Home playoff teams are 4-1 straight up, 3-2 against the spread with Kemp, favored by an average of 8.5. One thing with Kemp this year, guys, 11-5 in the 16 games he officiated to the under.
Yep.
11-5.
Yep.
He's got some pretty strong numbers. NFL doesn't like stuff like 30-3, 11-5. Yeah, NFL doesn't, that's becoming more and more popular, the referee stats. I'll say this about the Broncos, Nick, right? I mean, every positive seems to have a negative. The positive is they've come back so many times and they played so many great rallies. They actually trailed in 15 of their 17 games. But the negative to that is that you never had a chance to throw Jarrett Stidham in there. He hasn't thrown. You said he hasn't thrown a pass. You would have thought somewhere along the line, this team's got the best record in the AFC. There must have been some blowout where he could have played a little, right? But no, it wasn't.
Yeah, it feels to me like there's a little bit of coping happening in Denver right now, trying to make themselves believe that the defense can get this done, Osweiler, Peyton Manning style. I just simply do not have enough confidence against a Patriots team that, as I mentioned, from the offensive side has too much firepower to play a game that, is played below the 20s. And I think the Patriots are going to score enough to do that. One thing I didn't want to do this week is go or take 2 road teams to win. So I will be taking the Seattle Seahawks, which pains me a lot because I love to fade Sam Darnold in every important game throughout his entire career. But this game being played with the 12th man in Seattle is just too important on a short spread. I'm going to actually skip the spread, as I said, and put this in my 2-team parlay. It gets you up into the plus odds for the parlay at plus 135. And as I mentioned, I've seen enough from the Seattle defense throughout the season to expect that at home they're going to do well. And we haven't seen the Rams click on all cylinders like they were throughout the season earlier in the year. They've really had to battle to make it here. I trust the Seattle Seahawks to get it done at home with the 12th man.
You said one quarterback is one. I brought it up earlier. One quarterback, Frank Reich. And they were losing, actually, 28-3 at the half of that football game. So it's like the biggest comeback ever. Yeah. But there's been some good ones. The history isn't kind. And there's been a few recent ones. Taylor Heineke sort of appeared on the scene in the playoffs. He made his first start in a playoff game. He lost 31-23, played well. Connor Cook 2016, Derek Carr got hurt. Connor Cook came in for the Raiders. They lost 27-14. Joe Webb came in for the Vikings when they played like in the middle of the week because of the snow game or whatever. Frank Wright did win the football game. Gary Danielson lost in 1983. And even the great Roger Staubach was put in this situation and lost 26-3 in this spot. So history is not on Jarrett Stidham's side. We can't dispute that.
And back in my day, we used to play 16 games in the regular season. If I told you a team was 13-3, that was a pretty good record. You would think they're one of the best teams in the league. Yeah. The Seattle Seahawks are 13-3 straight up all time in home playoff games, including 3-0 in NFC title games. When they make it here, they win. There's something about that Seattle fan base and that Seattle home field advantage that just simply does not lose. With this defense, it's to get them to walk out of this game with a win, it feels like a win for Seattle.
It's the worst possible team. They have to play the Rams, though.
Yeah.
If you're the Seahawks,
I respect
it's
the
a
Rams.
nightmare.
Yeah. The Rams, there's a lot of McVay and Stafford stats about owning the Seahawks. I had to go back and forth with it all week long.
They haven't sacked Matt Stafford since 2023.
Wow.
That's as
good as their defense is.
Add that,
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty well. If this game kind of goes in the direction of Stafford, dominating, even with a negative script we saw earlier this season, that Seattle running backs were able to go for 110 and 132 yards in those two regular season meetings. So I'm going to look at Kenneth Walker to go over 85.5 rushing yards as well. Zach Charbonnet being out gives all the touches pretty much to Kenneth Walker. And I think that this is a game that you hopefully for Seattle, you see them depend on their defense and the rushing game to take the ball out of and the pressure off of Sam Darnold.
All right, and Hunter Henry. I think you had him last week too, did you not?
Yeah, I love Hunter Henry to go over 43.5 receiving yards. Tight end is the key for Drake May, and this number is just too low. I expect Drake May to air it out to Hunter Henry throughout the game.
All right. Nick, great job as always. Check out the work. ZoneCoverage.com. Nick, good job. Thank you. Your place tonight. And
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Kwan Lacey broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Buy or sell. Tua has made his last start for the Dolphins. Feels like Sam went easy on this one.
If I could be that crazy guy, was it Jim Cramer? Buy. Yeah, there's no way he's playing for the Dolphins again. After he said that statement, there was no way in hell anyway. But once again, new coach, new GM. I don't know how they're going to do the cap hit. It's massive.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I'll tell you what, guys. The insider scam is like the best insider scam in the business of, like, in the history of television. They don't know anything until their phone gets the text message in which the deal is done, right? We saw this with Quinn Hughes. We were told, he wants to play with his brothers. Now they're saying that he wanted to be traded to Detroit. In other words, just say you don't know.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Thanks again, Nick Hamady joining us, zonecoverage.com. I'll tell you that the real common play this week, Gabe, is going to be, and I'm not saying it's a bad play either, is going to be Walker's rushing attempts and yards without Charbonnet in there. You know, and I looked it up. They really don't have, like what I like to do a lot of times in those situations, I think the public generally goes with the starter Walker thinking, all right, he's going to get that many more carries. And in reality, he might get a carry or two more, but he generally gets what he gets, and then they just go down the pecking order, and then you go to your third string running back, and he'll get the carries that Charbonnet would get, or at least they would split it up. It wouldn't be an automatic, okay, Walker's going to go from 18 carries a game to 25 or 30. But they really don't have that kind of back. I mean, their third leading rusher after Walker and Charbonnet is Sam Darnold. So maybe Walker's numbers are the way to go. You're paying a premium, 85.5 yards, but that might be the way to go this week. Go with the public.
The Seahawks are incredibly thin at running back right now. And I don't know what they're going to do, actually, because everybody on the team is basically hurt. So, you know, they're going to have to bring someone in. Like, if you look at their depth chart, basically, Holani is the backup. He's on. Yeah. He's hurt right now. McIntosh is hurt. Like everybody, like their backups are hurt as well. It's one of those deals. So you're right though. Usually you want to take a look at the. Let me see. All right. So is Velus Jones Jr. Velus Jones Jr. Scott. He looks like he's going to be the one.
He's not even listed this season for Seattle. So you're not even going to be able to get a
snaps.
number.
He's taken 16 snaps this year. Recorded 6 carries.
I don't even see him. Has he really? I'm looking. Velus Jones Jr.?
Yeah.
I don't see
Velus Jones Jr.
I'm looking at. Okay. Yeah, there he is. Right. I'm looking at Yeah. I mean, are you going to get a number on him?
They're so thin, Scott. He was a wide receiver, for the record.
Yeah.
He's not a running back. They transferred. They made him a running back from wide receiver. So
much for running backs being a dime a dozen, right? That theory. Oh yeah, who drafts a running back? We'll get some guy. There's got to be somebody in the depth chart. Somebody
this is interesting. I'm sitting here. Cam Akers
got?
Is on the practice squad.
Ooh.
Cam Akers. They signed Cam Akers a couple of weeks ago to the practice roster.
Would that make sense?
He played for the Rams too. He played for the Rams. Like that. They're definitely drilling him everything about McVay. What do you know? What can you tell us?
What is he eating? What is he going to sleep?
Exactly.
Any phobias the Stafford have? Help us out here. Yeah, they got nothing. IR, you look at their depth chart, IR, out, IR.
Yeah.
Behind Walker.
So this kind of puts some pressure on Sam Darnold, bro.
Yeah.
Because let's be real. You'll have Kenneth Walker. He'll come out of the game. They're not going to give the ball to these guys too much. Like, how many carries is Velus Jones Jr. really getting?
Right.
Like, I think it'll just be quick hits. Like, the controlled sort of rush game through the air. Darnold is good at that, too. That's one thing Darnold is good at. He's good at that quick slant, that quick, like, pitch over the middle he's good at, like the fastball. It's when he starts throwing down. Like, Darnold gets in trouble when he has time. And he has to think.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if Darnold doesn't think, he won't make the mistake. And his athletic ability is good. And his reflexes are good and stuff. So, like, 3-step drop, boom. 3-step drop, boom. But if, you get to him and he rolls out or he gets too cocky and he's got time and, I'm going to go down the field here, that's when he gets in trouble. I'm worried for Seattle here. Yeah. Like, I just am. The matchup. Dude, like you talked, Walker's good, Scott, but like they got Williams and Corum, bro. You got to stop Nakua. You got to stop Stafford. Then, okay, even if you stop that, they got a 1-2 rushing combination. I think the only thing that you can really say is the Rams defense is a little soft in the belly. So, try to bully them, man. Run the ball down their throat with Kenneth Walker. And Walker does pop big runs, Scott. Like, this kid is explosive as hell.
He's not had, though, Gabe, one game with 20 carries this year. They're giving you 19.5 as the over-under.
It's a great observation by you. Great observation.
No.
He gets hurt all the time.
Yeah.
He's one of these
Look, it's
dudes. Why don't you
10,
give him the ball
11,
more? Because they
15.
know if we give him the ball more,
Yeah.
he'll get hurt.
Yeah. I mean, he's only even had 19 just a couple of times. It's generally 15, 16 times. That's it.
No, it's a good observation. He's not getting 25 carries or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, yeah, it's going to be extra Walker. He'll get hurt.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Kwan Lacey broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Buy or sell. Tua has made his last start for the Dolphins. Feels like Sam went easy on this one.
If I could be that crazy guy, was it Jim Cramer? Buy. Yeah, there's no way he's playing for the Dolphins again. After he said that statement, there was no way in hell anyway. But once again, new coach, new GM. I don't know how they're going to do the cap hit. It's massive.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I'll tell you what, guys. The insider scam is like the best insider scam in the business of, like, in the history of television. They don't know anything until their phone gets the text message in which the deal is done, right? We saw this with Quinn Hughes. We were told, oh, he wants to play with his brothers. Now they're saying that he wanted to be traded to Detroit. In other words, just say you don't know.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Scott and Gabe until 10 p.m. Eastern time, as we always are. Hour number 2, how about a little late night pickoff? We gave you the 4 to start the program, and then we give you 4 more, 3 more, 4 more, depending on what we like. Hour number 2. So I'll lead it off here, Gabe. I'll probably take one that I know you might do. And that's the over in the Denver game. Over 159.5, North Dakota State and Denver. Denver, the number 1 over team in all of college basketball, 300-plus teams, and Denver, 16-1 over on the season, which is just amazing. And the one game that didn't go over, you ask? They had 160 points. So with this number, even that game would have gone over. So they're not very good. They just go up and down the court and say, let's shoot some baskets, right? So give me the over 159.5, North Dakota State at Denver.
No, they're a great hockey program. Their basketball team is fun, but yeah, they're 9-11 on the season. So like they don't win these games all the time, but their games go over. The odds makers are starting to catch up to it, but it's a nice combination. They score 84 points a game. And they give up 85 a game. So like, it's really good. It's like, wow, you guys are really good. You score 84 points a game. It's like, yeah, the bad news is we give up 85. Right? So if they could ever figure out how to get like 2 or 3 more stops a game, might be a good basketball team. But they don't seem to care about that. So I'm with you. Let's go over to 159.5 here.
All right. How about over 147.5, Portland State at Eastern Washington? Close to being one of my DGen specials, but we'll actually put it in the late night pickoff. Eastern Washington, 12-5 over on the season. and they're at home. Should be able to control play. Let's see if we can get to 148 points. That's a more modest number than the 159.5. Let's go over Portland State, Eastern Washington.
Well, we talked about Portland State the other night. They're actually technically now the second best team against the spread in the country. Number one are the Mercer Bears, 15-2 against the spread. Now, so Portland State check in, 10-2-1 ATS. Remember, Scott took them the other night laying the 3. I went against them, and we ended up getting the push. Portland State survived. They ended up winning the game, but, it was 3 points. I almost wanted to take my, Eastern Washington tonight, right? And I was like, but I just can't do it. They're a terrible basketball team. Right? There's no reason why Portland State doesn't win this game tonight, but it should be close, so I'm going to play the money line. Portland State money line. I don't even need them to cover. Just win the damn game. I think they will at Eastern Washington.
All right. How about over 160 and a half or so? Long Beach State at Cal State Fullerton. We're going deep into the depths here. Long Beach State, rock solid, 12-4-1 over on the season. One of the best over teams in college basketball. Not quite a Denver status, but they're in the top 10. They're on the road, but I'm guessing Long Beach State, Cal State got a little bit of a rivalry there. So let's go over the 160 and a half.
All right, I'm going to hit the NHL ice here. We've got a little bit of options going on tonight, college basketball, NBA basketball, some NHL hockey. Last night, we were on the air for the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Detroit Red Wings game. Very competitive game, back and forth, very intense, playoff-like atmosphere, and it ended up going to overtime. The Detroit Red Wings won the hockey game. Now they're in Minnesota tonight. Less than 24 hours later, Minnesota have been off now for a couple of days. They're rested. They need the points tonight. I think the pendulum swings. And I'm not an automatic fade because the team played the night before. But the Red Wings and the Leafs are like a rival. They're in the same division. They're battling for a playoff spot. The Leafs are trying to catch them. There's going to be a little bit of an exhale tonight for the Detroit Red Wings. After last night's intensity in Toronto, going into Minnesota, give me the Minnesota Wild to win this hockey game tonight. Minus 155, Minnesota Wild.
All right. We want to play a little hunch in that game. I actually forgot about it, to tell you the truth, but Vladimir Tarasenko was on Detroit last season. And I think we all think of him as St. Louis Blues, and then he was with the Rangers. He actually played for Detroit last year, first time facing a former team. He was only there a year. I don't know if there's any kind of axe to grind with that, but if you want to play a little hunch, okay, Tarasenko facing one of his former teams. My last one is going to be LA Clippers game, getting 1.5 or so at home against the Lakers, and they are the home team. The Clippers are, so it's in the Clippers arena, not the Lakers. Lakers had a 2-6 against the spread run on the road. They're not nearly as good on the road as they are at home. And you can kind of circle a Clipper game against the Lakers earlier this season that really turned their season around. They were 6-21, just playing awful basketball. They beat the Lakers, and from that point on, they're 13-3, including 6-1 their last 7. So they're playing terrific ball. They're at home. They're 8-1 against the spread at home, and you're actually getting a point and a half, depending on where you do your shopping. So give me the Clippers tonight to beat the Lakers.
It does feel like a good spot for the Clippers tonight. The Lakers have shown a lot, though, over the last couple of games. Nice win against the Toronto Raptors. They held the Raptors to 93 points. Big win against the Denver Nuggets the other night. Right, that was a tough spot. They were down early in the first half. They came back. They ended up winning the game rather easily, 115-107. And generally, the Clippers have owned the Lakers, but not recently, like not over the last 2 years type of deal. But if you dig down deep, it's pretty wild. They're 40-16 the last 56 matchups. 40-16 the Clippers are against the Lakers. But the Clippers are always a hard team to trust. But my last pick will be in the NBA, the Portland Trailblazers. Talking about a hot basketball team. The Portland Trailblazers are on fire right now. They're like 8-3 in their last 11 games. Getting a Miami Heat team that are sort of up and down on a nightly basis. They're coming off a win, but Portland are a good home team, and Portland are dialing this thing up. Tiago Splitter's not going to get Coach of the Year, but he should be into consideration, man. Everybody laughed at this team, thought they were going to be terrible. Chauncey Billups gets arrested like the day the season starts. Splitter's got to step up and in and take over. And here they are right now. They got a 500 record. That's not easy in the West, right? Like they got a 500 record in the West. They've been on a nice roll right now. They got great team chemistry. As I stated, man, these guys are they've won 3 straight, 8 of their last 10 basketball games. And I don't trust Miami in this spot. Like I said, Miami alternate wins and losses if you look. They're just sort of the typical win one, lose one, win one, lose one team. Give me the Portland Trailblazers tonight in a basic pick 'em.
Yeah. It's not a bad little hunch play. FanDuel here in New York doesn't have like MVPs and Coach of the Years, but if they can continue on this path without a real kind of story developing, the Eastern Conference and nothing, Western Conference, KC is obviously great, but people look for stories and angles. They may hop onto this story. Yeah, this team won 21 games.
And what I
2
love
years ago.
too. Exactly. Great call. Glad you bring that up. So they've won 22 already this year. Think about that.
Yeah.
They've already surpassed. Like they've won 22 games. And they've had a lot of injured players. They've had a lot of injured players, and they still win. And I love, I can get you the quote here. I love what they talked about. Splitter was asked about being 500 and basically like, oh, what a great job.
Who cares?
Yeah, and he said, he said being 500 is nothing to celebrate. And he goes, being 500 is not our goal. I'm not big on this 500 thing or number of games that you should win or not. I don't think 500 is a number you should be aiming for. Not like, oh, yeah, we're doing great. No, man. These guys, they're looking for their 11th win in 14 games tonight.
Think about where he played. I don't know about his entire career, but, he was a San Antonio Spur, right?
Yeah, he has a commitment to winning. Exactly. So it goes to show he has a winning culture, right? Just sort of like the players buy in, they play as a team. And like I said, dude, they haven't had Grant, they haven't had Drew Holiday, they haven't had Avija a lot of the time. It's pretty wild. Like they win, like whoever plays, they just win.
Yeah. 8-2, their last 10 as well. So they're playing good ball. Boys in Vegas are still a little hesitant, on like saying, they're a good team.
It's a tough road trip too, Scott. It's the most unique. It's like going into Pac-12 country. Yeah, you're going to Portland, Oregon. Like, you're not even, there's nothing comparable to it.
Yeah. Right.
Memphis is shopping Ja Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for Ja Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Kawhi Lacey broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Buy or sell. Tua has made his last start for the Dolphins. Feels like Sam went easy on this one.
If I could be that crazy guy, was it Jim Cramer? Buy. Yeah, there's no way he's playing for the Dolphins again. After he said that statement, there was no way in hell anyway. But once again, new coach, new GM. I don't know how they're going to do the cap hit. It's massive.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I'll tell you what, guys. The insider scam is like the best insider scam in the business of, like, in the history of television. They don't know anything until their phone gets the text message in which the deal is done. Right? We saw this with Quinn Hughes. We were told, he wants to play with his brothers. He wants to play with his brothers. Now they're saying that he wanted to be traded to Detroit. In other words, just say you don't know.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe. You know, Gabe, we were both wrong, but we were both right last night in the NHL. You know, we both said Washington, Vancouver just didn't seem right. I know a team, I've never had that feeling with a team that's lost 11 in a row, but yeah, just got that sense. You know, Washington's not playing good hockey, and sure enough, Vancouver wins last night 4-3.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
it just
Fortunately, I hit the over 1.5 in the first period to soften the blow a little bit, but yeah, I was so frustrated, I stopped watching it because I was like, God, they Canucks finally win now tonight, and I'm on the Capitals. Yeah, pretty gutless of the Capitals. Now, you know what? We talk about Ovi being in the casino. Now I'll call him out. Less time in the casino, Ovi. Worry about the Canucks.
Get out of the ice, Ovi. Come on. You can't. And honestly, you can't lose to a team. You can't lose to that team. You want to make the playoffs. You know, I mean, you're fighting for a playoff
They're on a 3-game losing streak already. That's 4 in a row now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, one bad West Coast trip can, like, ruin things pretty quickly for your team. Like, listen, the Canucks were due. You and I both kind of knew, but what's wild, though, is there wasn't a big enough price for us to bet on the Canucks.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Washington were only minus 170. Like, the Canucks were like plus 130 last night only. For a team that lost 11 in a row, how the hell do you bet on a team that's plus like that? Like, you would want more, but they kind of knew.
4 home wins. 4 home wins all season.
And 4 home wins all year.
Right?
Yeah, you know, they got a standing ovation after the game.
Did they really? I saw 4 times. Like, I got up that same thing. It was 4-2.
The old Bronx cheer type of thing. You know, it was like
4-3. Yeah, then I got bought in again, but yeah.
I thought they would blow it too, Scott. I saw. I was like, oh damn, because bro, it was like 2-0 for the Capitals right away. That's the thing. We blew a 2-0 lead.
Was it 2-0 Vancouver? Or was it 2-0 Washington?
It was Washington. Washington scored like boom, boom, and I was like, man, this is so easy. I hit the first over, and I remember because I was watching it, and the guy that scored the second goal, because I had over 1.5, the Capitals scored. I was like, they'll score again probably. They got on a power play. And the guy that scored was actually from Vancouver. They were like, oh, it's his first game ever playing in Vancouver, and he scores a goal. And I'm like, yeah, typical Canucks. Like, that's how bad things are going. You got kids on other teams coming back and scoring on you. They're from Vancouver and stuff. And, yeah, they ended up blowing the lead. So when I saw it was 4-2, I actually thought, they'll blow it. They often blow leads, the Canucks. They'll blow the lead. But they didn't last night. Yeah. I remember I brought up, too, that Adam Foote called out the veterans specifically. He said our veterans on our team, like, don't lead on the bench, and they all got kind of hitsy bitchy about it after. So they actually showed up last night. they actually showed up. Yeah, I know exactly.
The one time
they showed up.
So I haven't been betting against them. I've been betting on Colorado. So I won't feel bad if I lose on a Colorado bet. Who they lost again, by the way, last night.
I'll tell you that exactly. I'm
starting to come back down to earth.
Yeah. I'm telling you, they're not going to win the cup. That's my hot take. But look at the NHL right now. Pretty much every underdog is winning or causing problems. Look, the Pittsburgh Penguins are beating the Oilers 3-0. The Penguins played last night in Calgary and won.
You know, here's a good. How about this stat I saw today for Edmonton? You know, Gabe, they have not won 3 in a row all season. We're past the midway point. You're talking about the team that won the Western Conference Stanley Cup.
They won 3 in a row in the Stanley Cup Finals 2 years ago. They were down 3-0 and came back to tie it. Like, exactly. Like, they just can't get on track, eh? They just can't get on track, this team. Like, every time you think they do and they don't. Yeah, this is a big one, too, where it was like their goalies, but they didn't play Skinner tonight. Right, remember they swap goalies, Jari and Skinner and all that. So they avoided the Skinner. Skinner's not playing.
I don't think Jari is either, is he?
No, I don't know why they did. I didn't know he wasn't supposed to, but he is. Yeah, Jerry did. I could double check here. Yeah, but Jerry is, but but Skinner didn't. I'm like, dude, just you know the guy wants to play. Just freaking play him, man. Like, dude, like
have some fun.
Well, he's going to get booed or whatever. Like, whatever, dude. Like, it's part of the game. It's like, have fun with it. Like, it is. Everyone, like, players like that. They like the game back and, like, the emotion of it and all that. But they hit from it in Pittsburgh, too, if you remember. They played twice, and they've never gone head-to-head, the goalies, man. That's lame. That's lame, huh? That's like, oh, yeah, we traded for you, but yeah, we don't really want to put you in this spot or this.
Yeah.
Like, no, man. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, no. I'm effing playing on the road against the team that traded me. I'd be mad if I was the goalie and I didn't play in that game.
And that's the stuff that gets you. I hate to say this because I hate the four-letter network, but that's the stuff that creates a little buzz with the four-letter network. That hey, these guys were traded for each other 2 weeks ago, and now they get to face off.
I saw this morning, it was emotional. Skinner was on the ice hugging the Oiler players. He was looking around.
Yeah.
He was back in the rink. And I'm like, oh, this is a pretty big story. And I'm like, yeah, if he was actually freaking playing, they're not playing him. It's like, and even the fans want to thank him. Some people like him. The kids with his jersey and stuff. Like, it's just, I hate that. Like Kawhi not playing in Toronto. It's like, yeah, dude, all right, bro. Yeah. No, you don't want to get booed. Can't take it. You know what I mean? Like, really? Yeah. It's going to hurt your feelings. But yeah. But I was going to say, look at the NHL. So they got Pittsburgh Penguins up. Chicago Blackhawks giving the Canes all they can handle. It's 2-2 right now. 2-2. Canes scored a goal, but they overruled it. So it's 2-2 still with like 8 minutes left. The Buffalo Sabres at Montreal. Montreal were small favorites in this game, only minus 120, and I fell for the bait. I'm on the Canadians here. They were down 3-0. They've come back to make it 3-2. There's still 11 minutes left, so we'll see if the Canadians can come back. Another dog, Scott. Your Boston Bruins beating the Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah. I liked the Bruins tonight, too, and I didn't take it. Yeah. They were plus 130. I didn't take it.
I didn't understand that line. Hockey, you always got to, you get a crazy
Bruins
line.
Are hot right now. They're playing well for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, 6-1. Their last 7. 5-0 at home. Now, Vegas is playing good, too, but still, I didn't think they would be an underdog. Maybe pick them. And they're leading 4-2 right now. I'll take a flyer on Montreal plus 340 right now.
How was my under pick? We gave you guys the Panthers and Jets under. It's 0-0 midway through the second period. Told you, it's going to play like a playoff game. These teams that are like this, that are battling for playoff spots, last night, Detroit, Toronto, it's a nice betting angle moving forward, guys. The NHL, they're already into playoff mode.
Yeah. Crazy. All right, more coming up in Game 5.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Kawhi Lacey broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Buy or sell. Tua has made his last start for the Dolphins. Feels like Sam went easy on this one.
If I could be that crazy guy, was it Jim Cramer? Buy. Yeah, there's no way he's playing for the Dolphins again. After he said that statement, there was no way in hell anyway. But once again, new coach, new GM. I don't know how they're going to do the cap hit. It's massive.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I'll tell you what, guys. The insider scam is like the best insider scam in the business of, like, in the history of television. They don't know anything until their phone gets the text message in which the deal is done, right? We saw this with Quinn Hughes. We were told, he wants to play with his brothers. Now they're saying that he wanted to be traded to Detroit. In other words, just say you don't know.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 2. We got Brady Cannon, do some NFL talk with him in a couple of moments. In the meantime, take a look at the board here, the little hockey there. So how about the little NBA? What do we got going on? I did play over Klay Thompson tonight against Golden State. He's been on fire of late, believe it or not. So he was 12.5 was his number. Let me see where he's at.
He averages
right now.
17.8 points per game against Golden State.
Yeah.
He gets fired up for it. He definitely does. Yeah.
He's going to hold that axe for a long, long time for the rest of his career. Although they don't have him listed. Is he not playing? Let me see. Go to show more, Scott. Oh, there he is. All right, he's got 6 points. So much for that hunch. Giving you 8.5. I still think he's going to end up getting, what was it, late third quarter? He'll still get 10 points. I would play
What's
the over
Curry
8.5.
at? I thought Curry would go off. He's at 26.
That's not bad.
They don't really have a choice. They don't really have anyone else to score on this team.
Yeah. Curry right now is listed at, survey says, 33.5.
And you know what? The T-Wolves and the Bulls game picked up. It was a slow start. It was like 25-13 with a minute left in the first quarter when Nick was on. I wasn't a fan of the score then, but I see it's 68-62 T-Wolves now. So they're up to 130 early in the second half. 240.5 is the total right now.
Are the Warriors not playing Kuminga again? Oh, they are. Yeah, he's got 10 points in 9 minutes. I don't know what the dude has to do to get on the court. He's a point-a-minute guy. He had 20 the other night in about 21 minutes. They're not even listening.
Carolina just tied the Chicago Blackhawks. Yeah, it was 3-2. It was 2-2. Chicago scored. Now Carolina just scored with 5:40 left, but I laid a goal and a half with Carolina. I don't know what happened. Stahl scored earlier in the period to take a 3-2 lead, and I sort of looked away, and I looked up again. It was 2-2. So I don't know what happened, why they took it off the board, but I don't know. Maybe I can get lucky. They can score a quick goal and maybe an empty netter, but it does not look good to win by 1.5 here.
No. Doesn't take much, though. Yeah, whenever I'm in a spot like that, I say just score with a minute left. Because then they generally got to pull the goalie. Sometimes they don't even, not often. I would do it a lot more, but sometimes even in the face-off, they don't have the goalie pulled. Yeah, I've seen crazier things occur. Usually when I'm on the wrong side. But
exactly. That's what I was going to say. It's like a catastrophe that goes against you normally. It's like, I can't believe they scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. But yeah, you can believe it.
Yeah.
When it's against you.
Yeah. What do we got? College basketball. How about a little tennis? You want to get on the Alcaraz match? It's starting here in 5 minutes. He's laying a monster number, so you got to go sets if you want to.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I really like the tennis, but I enjoy it when we sort of get when they start to play each other for real.
Quarterfinals.
As opposed to it's tough to deal with. Oh, he's a -50, 5,000 favorite.
70-1.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so exactly. So let's see. 66-1 I see against Mute. So
you could parlay it with
9.5 games.
Wow. That 10 came through the yesterday. Who were we talking about? Sinner, I think it was. He won by 11.
Yeah, Sinner. Yeah, we're talking about the under 26.5. So yeah, Sinner rolls. So you want to talk, you think NBA numbers are sharp, guys. Bet tennis props. Man.
Yeah.
You cannot get sharp.
Yeah, like dead on. Yeah.
Yeah, like total games and all that. Like, you think no. Like, they're ahead of you.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
they got it all figured out.
Oh, it's brutal. Yeah, it's really, really tough. Netball is the other one, too. Netball is like viciously, like netball, the total will be 62.5. The game will literally land at like 61 or 63, like every time.
Right.
It's like, it's uncanny. Like tennis, they really have it figured out, man, these numbers. Doesn't mean upsets don't happen, but when you bet on the actual props and the total games and all that,
right?
It's bang the F on. Look at that. Like you said, Sinner was 10.5. He won by 11.
Yeah.
Came down to one last match, one last game.
And he won the last set 6-2, which a lot of times last set, especially if the guy is up 2, he just says, whatever. You're not going to break me.
He's the favorite to win the tournament. One of the best players in the world, the favorite to win the tournament, and you had to sweat it out to win by 11. Like, just barely win the bet.
Yeah. Tennis is tough. Tennis is real tough. You could do a Carlos Alcaraz Coco Golf parlay. You're still laying 14-1. You got to put like five guys in a parlay this early. You know, it is crazy. So, a quick little break. Brady Cannon, SportsGrid host, will join us to some NFL talk with him, and maybe he's got some other winners on the board tonight.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Kawhi Lacey broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Buy or sell. Tua has made his last start for the Dolphins. Feels like Sam went easy on this one.
If I could be that crazy guy, was it Jim Cramer? Buy. Yeah, there's no way he's playing for the Dolphins again. After he said that statement, there was no way in hell anyway. But once again, new coach, new GM. I don't know how they're going to do the cap hit. It's massive.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I'll tell you what, guys. The insider scam is like the best insider scam in the business of, like, in the history of television. They don't know anything until their phone gets the text message in which the deal is done, right? We saw this with Quinn Hughes. We were told, oh, he wants to play with his brothers. He wants to play with his brothers. Now they're saying that he wanted to be traded to Detroit. In other words, just say you don't know.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So we'll get back to the NBA, NHL here in a little bit. Let's talk a little football, a little golf. We got two guys, Min-Woo Lee, I've heard of him. The other dude, Cody, I don't know even how to pronounce his name. American Express, the championship underway. So let's go to our good buddy Brady Cannon, SportsGrid host. You see it here all the time here on the grid. What's going on, Braid? What do we know about Woo Lee and Cody? C-O-O-D? Why? Never heard of him.
Well, the good news is I am on Pearson Cootie at 80-1 to win this tournament. So let's hope he hangs on.
You were on Pearson Cootie? Are you kidding?
I am on
Pearson
Cootie. Yeah.
I said there's a lot of people you've never heard of, Scott, out there.
But I'll tell you what, the worst curse in the world is to have the guy leading after day one, though. I wish he would have flubbed a shot on the last hole or something like that. But yeah, so Pearson Cootie, he was the shortest shot I took. This tournament is really random. I have actually, in all my years, never hit the outright winner at the American Express. It's a pro-am, all these,
because of the 3-course thing?
Right. The 3-course rotation. It's really, really easy. It's a pro-am, all these CEOs and, amateurs, taking 5-6 hours around to play. And it's one that I just don't invest in too heavily because of the random nature of the winners here. I mean, it was a couple of years ago, we had an amateur for the first time in decades at 500-1. We've had, anywhere from 200, 300 to 500-1 winners here over, more often than not in the last 10 visits. And Scotty Scheffler has never won here before. I also think it's interesting if, you take a major tournament or a big boy golf tournament And Scotty Scheffler's one shot off the lead, and he's minus money. The fact that he's still 2-1, I think the odds makers know that this tournament is a crapshoot as well. But Minwoo Lee, I saw some sharp people on him to begin the week, and he won last year at Houston. And I believe there is some correlation with that golf course. There's not a whole lot of rough. You can drive it and not get into too much trouble. The greens are similar. So the fact that he's having success here is not all that surprising as well. But we got a lot of golf left. It's just going to be, it's a birdie fest. We'll see how long these guys can hang around.
We got Cootie at 17-1 and Kim at 16-1. With your propensity to stay away from first round leaders, would you not hop on board then? You don't think these guys can go wire to wire, or would you?
Well, as Gabe mentioned, there's 3 different courses that they play. The Nicklaus Tournament course, La Quinta, and the Stadium course. The Stadium course is the most difficult. Each player will play one course once, and then they make the cut on Saturday, and then they go back to the Stadium course on Sunday. So Jason Day and Bo Hostler both shot the lowest rounds of the day on the Stadium course. So they now have the easiest 2 courses in front of them for the next 2 days. So they might be a couple of guys to look at. Outside of Jason Day and Hostler, because they played the toughest course first, I think Minwoo Lee and Cootie are worth a shot at pretty good prices. And then the other guys, Andrew Novak, who's a guy that's really an up-and-coming player. You can get him at around 50-1. And then, of course, Patrick Cantlay. We all know Patrick Cantlay. He's done very well at this tournament in the past. And what is he, 2 shots off the lead, maybe 1 shot?
He's at 22-1 right now.
Yeah, that's a nice
I was going to bring him up, Brady.
Yeah.
Exactly. A lot of people like Cantlay to win. And what about Ben Griffin right now at 14-1? How do you feel about him moving forward?
Gabe, we used to always go over, the biggest liabilities and whatnot at BetMGM. Ben Griffin has the second highest ticket count at BetMGM. Of course, number 1 is Scotty Scheffler. But the biggest liability at BetMGM is Siwoo Kim.
Wow.
So I don't like to mess with those guys because usually those guys don't, the books don't typically take a big hit, especially in the futures market. So Minwoo Lee, Pearson Cootie, Patrick Cantlay, and Andrew Novak. If you're wanting to get involved right now, I might take a stab at those 4 guys right there.
All right, I'll go to the chalk because we know this guy's a closer, right? And that's Scotty Scheffler. I know you're only getting 2-1, but just from a betting, like I want to win money, I got a closer who's in perfect position, only 1 shot off the pace.
First tournament for him, though, Scott. It's not in he's not like dialed in mode.
I
He's
know,
sort of
he's not
feeling his way in here, right?
But he's only 1 shot back.
It's unprecedented territory, though. And Gabe, to your point, he's never won his first tournament that he's debuted with, to start the season. But he's also never shot 63 on his first tournament.
I mean, that's what I mean. He's a closer.
He shoots 63 every day for the rest of the week. Yeah, he's probably going to win.
Right? I mean, I'm not going to. One thing's for sure, Scott, you're going to have a sweat for the next 3 days because he's not going away. Right. He's going to be, if he doesn't win, he's going to finish probably top 5. And maybe that's a bet. Maybe you lay minus 300 or whatever to finish top 5.
What course did he play today? Did he play the hardest course? Do you know?
No, he did not. He played La Quinta. So La Quinta and the Nicklaus Tournament course are the 2 easiest. The Stadium course they're all pretty easy, but the Stadium course is the most difficult. So I'm not sure which course he's on tomorrow. But again, I don't think it's a bad bet, but it's hard to risk a lot of money. And, what if he finishes 3rd or something? So maybe you spend the money to have him finish top 5, that's been a good bet for how many years in a row now? Scotty Scheffler to finish top 10. It's like a foregone conclusion.
Brady. Let me ask you something. Last year and past year is sort of like, all right, you're going to go back to Xander and the majors. People have, gone to Rory. Ben Griffin is sort of a trendy golfer coming in here, but is there a golfer? I'm not even talking about the majors, but is there a golfer or 2 that you think that you're playing on that's going to win a couple of PGA events this year that people are sleeping on? Like who's the coming out party this summer for someone?
Right. That's always really tough to gauge, but I mentioned Andrew Novak. This guy is an up-and-coming player. He made some noise at the end of the season last year over the fall swing. He finished 7th at the RSM Classic. They have a silly season team event, the Grant Thornton Invitational or whatever, that he won. He won with Ben Griffin, actually, when they teamed up in New Orleans last year. That was his first quote-unquote PGA Tour win. He hasn't won solo yet, but both of those guys teamed up for a victory. I think he could be a guy that knocks the door down this year. He's been close for the last couple of seasons. He's up to top 40 player in the world. He might be a guy to keep an eye on.
Are we ever going to get another championship out of Jordan Spieth? Or is that day coming, man? Sales?
I root for, he's one of my favorite players, and it's been a minute.
You get good
since
odds on
he's done
him
anything.
every single week. Yeah.
Well, I used to say if Jordan Spieth was 25-1 to win the Masters, he was an automatic. He's now like 50-1 to win the Masters.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember this guy's track record at the Masters?
Maybe the Masters,
like he's never finished worse than 3rd. Yeah. That's where you might, but he's got to have the game obviously in shape. Now he knows that place as well as anybody. Yeah. You got to see something out of him. And maybe you bet him now at 50-1, which I've seen recently, to win the Masters, and gamble that he's going to get hot before it, because if he gets hot,
he was going to be the next Tiger.
That price is going to be 20-1.
Not like Tiger, but I thought he was going to be the next big thing.
He was so young; he's already got 3 majors.
Yeah, Yeah,
Scotty's going to win the Grand Slam this year.
Humble kid, didn't party, focused on golf and family and all that, and didn't seem like there was any sort of pratfalls or danger traps coming around the corner for him.
Kid. I love him. Man.
Yeah, there's no Paulina Gretzky walking in the room type of thing. That he'd be focused, right? But
here's his heart on his sleeve.
He still lost his game.
I hope he comes back.
All right, between him and Leonardo DiCaprio Jr., Ricky Fowler, I root for both those guys. Just an absolute dead ringer. Brady, good job, man. We'll do it again soon. Thanks.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? What team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Kwan Lacey broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Buy or sell. Tua has made his last start for the Dolphins. Feels like Sam went easy on this one.
If I could be that crazy guy, was it Jim Cramer? Buy. Yeah, there's no way he's playing for the Dolphins again. After he said that statement, there was no way in hell anyway. But once again, new coach, new GM. I don't know how they're going to do the cap hit. It's massive.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I'll tell you what, guys. The insider scam is the best insider scam in the business of in the history of television. They don't know anything until their phone gets the text message in which the deal is done. Right? We saw this with Quinn Hughes. We were told, he wants to play with his brothers. Now they're saying that he wanted to be traded to Detroit. In other words, just say you don't know.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid. Scott and Gabe, thanks again to Brady Cannon. Talk a little golf with him with the American Express. This is why I generally don't bet women's tennis. There's just too many upsets on the women's side. There really are. Sabalenka, the number 1 seed, might be going to a third set. She's taking on Anastasia Potapova, who just double faulted to serve out the second set. In a tiebreaker. She was up 7-6, or she was up 6-5. She double faults, and that's the match. She ends up losing. Sabalenka does win. How about that as we speak here? But, boy, you had to sweat that out. You go to a third and deciding set on the women's side. But, all right, so Sabalenka, the number 1 seed, does advance on. I thought we'd have a major upset to talk about. So, not the case.
That's one good thing with this tennis.
Back to the board we go. Overtime, Carolina, Chicago.
You sort of wait for an end game too, like, especially with the men, right? Like there's massive swings. So like, a minus 250, 300 favorite in tennis loses the first game. Suddenly he becomes minus 150, right? Minus 175. So there are opportunities like the Tommy Paul match coming up against Fakina. Tommy Paul's a minus 225 favorite. And you're right. We're going to a shootout here now, Scott. Blackhawks, I swear to God, I don't know how the puck didn't go in. The Blackhawks had a breakaway on, in overtime in the 3-on-3 stuff. Like everyone thought it was in the net. Like the goalie didn't know where it was. He was looking under his pad. Like the Blackhawk was sort of like, it's in. Like, right? Like, and the ref, no goal. Spencer Knight in the net for the Blackhawks. So we got a shootout now here. And I already lost the 1.5, Scott. So in typical professional gambling fashion, I chased this. I did what all smart gamblers do, chase. I said, all right, screw this. Yeah, I said, well, I'm not going to win the 1.5, so I'm going to take the minus 140 right now. Minus 140 to win the game. So here we go. We're in a shootout. I never win shootouts. No, I'm feeling good, though, right now. Feeling good. Oh, we just got stopped.
All right. Good luck.
Spencer Knight's a great goalie, too. We got problems. Yeah. I never win shootouts, Scott. No. So, no, you're right. I'm inevitably about to lose.
Florida scored 1-0 over Winnipeg after 2.
Low scoring.
Looking pretty good.
3-1 Senators. I wanted to check in on the my shots on goal situation here.
How about James Reimer
Dylan Cousins
this week by Ottawa? 37 years old.
Again. Yeah.
God bless him. It was okay. He was a decent goalie. Nothing great.
Reimer, no, you can. Yeah, and he's still in shape. He can still play.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
We've had Zamboni drivers win hockey games before. Don't forget in the net. So James Reiner would be fine.
Right.
James
Buffalo scored again. They're going to win 4-2.
Big man, the Sabres just keep on rolling, huh?
Yeah, it's amazing. What a 17-4 now. Their last 21
talk
games.
About though. All right, let's see. I hate when these guys dance around like this. Can somebody score? All right, Carolina just scored. So they got a 1-0 lead in the shootout here right now. God,
it's too bad they couldn't. If they won the shootout by 2, win your minus 1.5. This way you'd always have something to root for. You'd always be in it.
You can do it like you said. I always talk about this. Like you can do it though. There's a lot of options here, Scott. So it's pretty hardcore. I don't do it because it's just so degenerate. But all right, shootout correct score. Right? You can bet like the different odds. 2-1, 2-1, 3-2. And son of a bitch, Chicago just responded. So we got the goal. We got the goal, and then boom.
Wow.
Connor Bedard scores on the shootout here.
Yeah.
So now we're tied at 1. See, here it is. So Carolina to win 3-2 is plus 1,400, and the Blackhawks to win 3-2 is plus 1,400. Wow, you can get pretty big odds here.
Yeah. I mean, someone's got to win, so it's not like you only have 3 shots and that's it. If it ends up being 1-1, it can go to over extra shoots 2-2 and then 3-2.
Wow.
That's not bad.
Yeah. If Chicago scores here, they're going to cash at plus 1,400 if somebody bet that they would win 3-2 in the shootout.
Right.
It's pretty wild. Like I said, so you can. Yeah, there's some wild. I do it in soccer a lot. Like how many attempts are there going to be in the penalty kicks and stuff like that.
Right.
Like there are ways to attempt it. And hockey betting and soccer betting are like very similar, like extreme.
That
The
is a
sports
DJ
themselves
special.
are pretty
That really
similar.
is. But
Oh.
okay.
Oh, Carolina get the stop. So we're
Wait.
tied. We're 3-3, and so we're going into the extras. So that now it didn't pay that plus 1,400. That did not hit.
All right. That was worth a shot.
Oh, look at this. You can bet, Scott. So here's Carolina. Will they score? Yes or no on the next penalty? Wow, it's plus 215. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, you don't get that on FanDuel.
Plus 215. Yes. Keandre Miller right now. He's one
That's
for
pretty
one in
cool.
his career in these situations. This is only the second time he's done this. And it just showed as he just stick-handled his way right past the net and lost control of the puck. Didn't even get a shot off. Dude, that's just bad, man. Like that,
Yeah.
You got one job.
Amazing
bro.
how some of these guys are
it's
just not good with this shootout.
No, it's like
stuff.
missing free throws in basketball
Yes.
to me. It's like, guys, like, you have a breakaway. Like,
Yeah.
how do you, like, not get a shot on net on a breakaway?
With no one in front of you.
There's
Nobody.
no one in front of you. You can't even get a shot on net. Like, a kid could go down the ice and at least shoot the net, like, shoot the puck at the net. Like, these guys, they get all cute and they lose the puck.
Yeah.
See, I don't blame the guy in the Blackhawks now. I don't mind what he did. He got stopped, but he came in fast. Burakovsky came in fast. He did one move. He shot the puck, like, but it was a nice save. So, yeah, dude, we're going on and on here, Scott, this shootout. It just goes on and on.
That's what they should have. They should bet how many shots will actually be taken in the shootout. You know?
So here we go again here right now. It's Stankoven, plus 225. Will he score right now? Pretty good odds, man, for
It's not
guys to
bad.
score in this shootout stuff. Yeah. Can he score? Nope.
It's not bad. They should be able to do
Thing
that.
is, Scott, as we go on in the shootout, like they're running out of their skill players. So, like, you can see the attempts are getting worse. Like, Spencer Knight easily stopped this. He's just like, all right, dude, thanks. Like,
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Kawhi Lacey broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Buy or sell. Tua has made his last start for the Dolphins. Feels like Sam went easy on this one.
If I could be that crazy guy, was it Jim Cramer? Buy. Yeah, there's no way he's playing for the Dolphins again. After he said that statement, there was no way in hell anyway. But once again, new coach, new GM. I don't know how they're going to do the cap hit. It's massive.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I'll tell you what, guys. The insider scam is like the best insider scam in the business of, like, in the history of television. They don't know anything until their phone gets the text message in which the deal is done, right? We saw this with Quinn Hughes. We were told, he wants to play with his brothers. Now they're saying that he wanted to be traded to Detroit. In other words, just say you don't know.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid. It's the typical gambler's notion. There's just nothing you can do to stop it. You know you're going to do something. You know you're going to lose, but you do it anyway. Blackhawks win over Carolina, Gabe. I mean, you said it yourself, right? You never win these shootouts, but
no.
Yeah, but
I took them though before the shootout.
Yep.
No, but I took it when it was like 5 minutes left in the game, so I didn't bet it going into the shootout. I'm not that dumb. I was hoping that they would score somehow and just win by one.
Okay.
But yeah, we lose the shootout again. I told you, we never win shootouts. And that was a bizarre one. It was like 9 shots. It took forever. And the kid, for the record, that just scored, it's his 21st birthday today. So now I guess he can legally drink everywhere after the game tonight and get lit up after just scoring. They're going to be partying hard tonight. Like, this kid just won the game for them.
That's something the NBA, I know it would be hard to do, but like, if it ever got into a situation like these guys get exposed, like some of these guys' attempts are just embarrassingly bad. The NBA player would never, ever, ever put them in a position to fail and look foolish, right? You would never get anything like that's why we don't have the slam dunk competition with real players. So
that's why they wouldn't want to do the one-on-one that I talked about.
Right.
Let's get the NBA one-on-one games instead. You guys don't want to play this, play hard, play one-on-one, but they wouldn't want to lose. Which is too bad, too, because if you look at baseball, the guys will do it in a home run derby, right? They don't mind. It's like, whatever. If I lose, I lose, but I'll do it, right? But basketball, they miss out. Although the All-Star game will have some intrigue this year because of the World versus USA. So for the record, the two biggest trends in college basketball are both on pace right now. Denver and North Dakota State, 45-37 at the half. In-game total is 167.5 right now. So that's on pace to go over. And the mighty Portland State. Portland State are winning 33-26 at the half right now. Now laying 6.5 at the half at Eastern Washington.
And
there's one more with
Hawaii.
The ultimate under team.
Midnight. Number one under team. My DGen special, which hit last night with under Loyola Marymount and Seattle. Nice little winner. I'm going to use the Hawaii game as my DGen special. Under 144 or so. Cal State, Hawaii, the number one under team. And Cal State 9-4 under themselves their last 13 games. So you really have two teams. That's why that 144 is awfully strange. It just seems awfully 6 to 8 points higher than what I think it should be. But you know what? We'll take it. Not going to buck 12-3 and 9-4 trends. So that's my my late night DGen special.
We thought last night Seattle were too short of favorites against Loyola Marymount. They absolutely smoked them, last night. So big NBA games coming up here tonight, though. We talked about the Portland Trailblazers looking for their 11th win in their last 14 games. They're on a roll, hosting the Miami Heat tonight. Should be a track meet as well. I see the Blazers are up to 2.5 right now. But it should be, I think it should be a track meet. I think it goes over, but I think the Blazers are going to win the game. And then I'll jump in. I'm a little bit worried about getting in front of the Lakers right now. They just sort of seem to have something over the last couple of days. Now you've got this Genie Bus LeBron story that's out there, circulating out there. The Genie Bus, hates LeBron James and wanted to trade him. I actually believe the story, to be honest with you. This is one of those that, I could see this. It's an interesting read, actually, that, she felt like he was ungrateful that they drafted Bronny James.
Right.
And she didn't like all LeBron's sort of agents and Maverick Carter and all these people with their own parking spots. She basically thought LeBron, tried to hijack the Lakers and take the organization over. And it was interesting because people always thought the Genie Bus, kissed his ass and stuff, but it turns out that there was a little bit of bad blood there between the two of them. She wanted to trade him to the Clippers, which is funny.
That would be weird, right? Bad enough you're going to trade a $10 billion operation. I mean, you must really hate your player a lot. If he's going to retire in a couple of years, just weather the storm here, right? You would think, but all right.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a weird dynamic. Yeah, we're dynamic with the family there. There's two other, there's grandkids that own part of the team. And I think she realized, you know what? I don't want to get into court or I don't want to fight with everyone in the family about this. Let's just sell it. I'm going to become a billionaire. And don't forget, she retained a stake right now, right, with the Dodgers owning it and stuff. So just an interesting story there. But, yeah, I'll take the Clippers, though. Let's go. That's disaster written all over it. But let's take the Clippers, Scott. Let's rock.
Our Bulls and Teacups, it's up to 247.5. Both of us on the over on that.
Good, let's go.
Hop on board. Yep. David, I'll be back tomorrow night, Friday 8 o'clock Eastern Time on the Grid.